Inter fans from all over the world, welcome to the Interglobe for the pre-match of Inter-Monza. Finally, we got to the beginning of this Serie A. It was not easy to wait for this moment because, as you know, we've been through a pretty delicate transfer market window this year and a lot of things happened. We talked about it yesterday from the Tomboli National Reserve. I hope the cricket will allow you to hear my voice well enough. And as you've heard yesterday, I'm not completely happy about what we've done so far. There are still a couple of weeks to go, and let's see what will happen. But let's focus now on Inter-Monza because it's going to be a very tough beginning for us. Inzaghi will speak this afternoon, and I'm really curious to hear what he will say about this transfer market. He's usually a very corporate type of manager. He always stays on the side of the company that he's working for, but I'm hoping that he will also let out some discomfort for some of the choices that are being made, because this could be a stimulus for the management to end the month with one or two players that could enrich our squad, because I do feel that we need that. So let's see what Inzaghi will say. And let's talk about the starting lineup of our Inter in a San Siro that, incredibly enough, even in the middle of August, will be sold out. The city is completely empty, it's like a desert, but the stadium will be filled with black and blue colors, and that's amazing, really. So a big applause to Inter fans, always there. Looking at the starting lineup, we usually have our 3-5-2 module, which, by the way, I would consider changing in case we don't buy any new player forward, to maybe 3-5-1-1 or a 3-4-2-1. Let's see, but I would use only one of the forwards we have at the moment, because I don't believe they are up to the par of last year. Anyway, in the goal we're going to have Sommer. So for the first time we're going to see this goalkeeper in action in San Siro in an official game. I'm very curious about it. We talked about him and we said that yes, he's a goalkeeper with a lot of experience. The downside is that he's not very tall. He doesn't come out of the goal very often, and he's not as good as Onana with his feet. But he's very explosive in the goal, and he has a lot of experience that can help our team that became a lot younger this year. And you know what? I'm also curious about Audero, because Walter Zenga, not the first person to talk about, not the last person to talk about goalkeepers, he's one of the best in history, had good words for Audero, and I hope that him being only 27, that he can improve and affirm himself in Inter, even this year, because Sommer is 34, so he's not going to be an endless resource for us. Anyway, let's see how Sommer will perform. In defense, we're going to have De Vrij in the middle, or De Vrij as it's called in Holland, because Acerbi is out, injured, and I'm happy about De Vrij starting, because I really feel that he's back to the De Vrij that won the Best Defender trophy a couple of years ago. So I'm really hoping that he will be a great alternative to Acerbi, also because Acerbi is aging a bit and he needs somebody to help him throughout the season, especially with so many games. On the left, Bastoni is going to be there in his usual place, and on the right, Darmian. So this is the lineup for defense. Midfield-wise, we're going to have Mkhitaryan, Barella and Çalhanoğlu, with possibly Frattesi ready to come in, and on the wings, Di Marco and Dumfries, with Cuadrado also possibly coming in during the game to help win it. And then in attack, we're going to have Lautaro, who's going to play for the first time as a captain, as a consolidated captain of the squad, and Thuram. We've all seen what Thuram did in the preseason, good movements but no goals. Having chosen number 9 is not the wisest thing, I think, because if he keeps on not scoring, people will start questioning him. I think he doesn't score because he simply is not a forward player. He's more of a wing, sort of like in Leao position. And that's why I also hope that with the change of module, he could blossom much faster than what he's doing now. And this is it for our starting lineup. As for Arnautovic, and I think that he could also come in, even though he trained with the team only 3 times, but I think he could have his portion of game, and possibly even Carlos Augusto, depending on how the game will develop. But that's the starting lineup. As far as Monza goes, they created difficulties for us last year, and they will create difficulties for us this year as well, especially with Gagliardini and D'Ambrosio, I'm sure, and Caldirola. There is this saying here in Italy that the ex always scores a goal when he plays with his ex-team, and so we have a lot of exes now, and that's going to be challenging. Of course, I have no regrets about Gagliardini, who was a player that didn't belong in Inter in the first place. I would say technically, physically maybe yes, but technically not at all. Although physically was also, yes, big, but very slow. And D'Ambrosio is a player that is in my heart because he gave a lot to Inter, and he was fundamental in many of the trophies we won and the qualifications to the Champions League we made. So I only have positive feelings about him. Monza plays with a 3-4-1-2 module, and Palladino proved to be a very good coach. And I also want to mention Berlusconi, because he passed away, and he really gave a lot to Monza, but he gave a lot to soccer in general. Even though he now he's moving the phone because he wants me to mention that not only gave a lot to soccer, but he was the most awarded president of a soccer team in history. And even though he's an enemy because he's a Milan president and he was always with Milan, I have to really acknowledge what he has done. He has done something majestic. You can say what you want about Berlusconi, but just you gotta give him credit for what he did with Milan in almost 30 years of career as a president. And then with Monza, because even Monza was incredible, you know, he brought Monza to Serie A, not only saving Monza from Serie B, but even bringing it close to qualifying in European Cup. So really respect for that. And let's see, I really hope that we will manage to win. It's going to be a tough game, but we gotta start off with 3 points. If you enjoyed this video, please punch the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. It's very important for me. And as always, Forza Magica Inter!